Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we're back with another video on Puzzle Tales, and today we're going to talk about tag teams in the game, well, I'm not going to talk about the full team at the moment. We're just going to go about some characters I found to work really well when they are put together, and that's a synergy between some three tag teams. So yeah, let's have a look at them. We're gonna start with the weaker one, I believe, and that is Joyce and Jim. Right, so we have a red Jim and green Joyce. Now I'm gonna only use ultra characters for this because they're essentially the ones you're gonna be using the most. These two, yeah, look at this. So Jim by itself, he does a good amount of damage, but honestly his third reactive is where he shines with Joyce together. So every time one of your characters gets below 50%, Jim is gonna give them a hide for 4 turns. Now hide is amazing because it hides your characters and your enemies don't really necessarily damage them. There's some certain exceptions, but here comes Joyce, and Joyce is gonna heal that character every turn for 20%. So if there's 3 characters that go below 50%, they're all gonna get hide, and the next turn and every other turn they're gonna get 20% back of health. And this is amazing healing actually. I really like this synergy between these two characters. She also gives hide to the most damaged team member after you activate her ability. Also she changes dices to green, but that doesn't really matter because we're talking about the hide synergy here with Joyce and Hopper, and pretty much any character that gives hide is amazing with Joyce because she automatically heals them every turn. So this is really nice. And on the other hand, she can empower red dices, and as we know, Jim is a red character, so this is even helping further to boost that attack team synergy. So yeah, we have that. Alright, that's the first tag team pair. Now we have the second tag team pair, and this is we have Argyle and we have 11. Now, as you know, 11, she activates dices from the same color. She can activate up to, I believe, actually 12 dices, which is crazy. And then you have my guy Argyle, who is an amazing healer in this game, and he changes green dices into healing dices, activates dices, but also every time you match green dices, you change 3 more green dices, and if it happens that he goes down below 50%, you're gonna change every single green dice to a healing dice. And now you have 11 with her ability to activate 12 dice of the same color. When you have so many green healing dices, you basically use 11's ability and activate every single healing dice, meaning that you can easily heal anybody that needs health. This is a crazy healing technique with both of them. I've played with both of them as max characters and they're amazing. The synergy is amazing with these guys and I just love it. On top of that, you can essentially empower green dices and at the same time have powered green dices and healing green dices and just do damage and heal at the same time. It depends how you put them together. Put them with a character that empowers, it's even better, but these two go really well, purple 11 and green Argyle. So I would recommend you to test them out if you haven't. And finally we have the third tag team, and this is, oh yes, we have yellow Robin and purple Nancy. Okay, so Nancy is a type of character that deals crazy amount of damage, 800% to a random enemy, and then she can hit every single enemy with vulnerability for the same amount of damage. Now, the interesting thing about Nancy, she gets hide for 4 turns at the beginning of every mission, and when she has hide, she gives the vulnerability to a random enemy, and then preferring the one that doesn't have vulnerability. And this is actually nice because it's the first 4 turns of every mission she's gonna give a vulnerability to a random enemy, and then she can basically just knock them all out with 800% damage thanks to her activated ability. And now to help out with this, to make it even more OP, you wanna bring in Robin with Nancy because Robin deals damage to a selected enemy, right? And if that enemy has vulnerability, she's gonna give a random enemy vulnerability to a selected enemy. So let's say Nancy at the start of each mission, she gives vulnerability because she has hide. You can select this enemy with Robin to deal damage, potentially kill it, and then give vulnerability to another enemy to help Nancy deal damage to that enemy on her activated attack. And if this wasn't enough, she can change yellow dices to vulnerability dices at the start of every wave, meaning that she can easily give vulnerability to enemies, and then you have Nancy coming up and hitting every single enemy with vulnerability. on her activated ability. Like, the synergy between these two is crazy. Your attacks are essentially more powerful because they deal more damage to the enemy, and then you have these guys just dealing vulnerability, taking massive amount of damage. Well, this one is like 900%, Nancy is 800%. You know, if you bring somebody like Erica who does like 1600%, it's crazy. You can literally smash these enemies, and it's just the crazy amount of damage you can output every time. Yeah, it's really crazy, guys. Okay, well, that's that. This is the tag teams, at least that I found useful in the tag team synergy. Do you have any other tag teams you might find useful? Now, obviously, there are some characters that work well with ultras and awesome tier characters, but for the purpose of this, I just want to use ultras because these are the characters I really focus on using, because these are the characters that have more abilities, they go up higher levels, and they basically have a higher level to the activated ability, and they're essentially stronger because they have more promotions, they have more health and damage overall. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all in my next video.